What's up guys, be by HC, and yeah, in case this is your first time, and yeah, in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to arrange your beats. I'm going to be giving you like some tips, like 8 or 9 tips. Just make sure you bring your pen and your paper and you jot things down. And for this demonstration I'm going to be using my latest single, Angelina, and if you haven't streamed that yet, please you can click the link in the description below, and yeah, make sure you enjoy the song as well. So yeah, the first thing you want to do when you are making your beats, maybe you already have an 8-bar loop, so the first thing you want to do is to make sure you find your leading sound. What do I mean by leading sound? Your leading sound is actually the main instrument in the whole song. It could be your drums, it could be a guitar, it could be a piano, it could be a sound that you played, but something that you know that is the vibe of the song. Like without that sound, this beat is nothing. You understand? Like, so yeah, in my own case it is the guitar. You understand? And in most cases this lead sound is going to play from the beginning to the end. Okay, so that's what you want to loop all through. That's why I said it could be your drums, like an amapiano, it could be your drums, you know. So but in this song in particular, it is my guitar, and it is this guitar which sounds just like this. And for this guitar, I just basically auto filtered it so that it was going to not be too bright, and I just EQ'd this as well. But this is not a mixing tutorial, so let us get straight into it. So you can see now this is my own main leading sound. So you want to first of all pick that out. So if you have your leading sound, for me it is my guitar and my 8-bar loop. So I just loop that all through the whole song. So that's the first thing I do. Then the second thing you want to do, you want to decide, do you want your song to start with the drums, or do you want your song to start with just the instrument? You understand? So that now depends on the kind of vibe that you are going for. But in my case, most cases, I always start mine with my drums and the lead sound, but I don't put the kick in the intro of my own song, arrangement. So as you can see around here, you can see, and I always like to group my stuff. You can see it's group my drums. Yeah, so as you can see around there, I'm using just the percussions and the rim without the kick. So this is what it sounds like in the intro. So you can see I'm building the song up. So that is for me. So in your own case, you can decide if you want the drums, the kick to enter, if you just want a solemn instrument. But for me, for this one, I'm using a guitar and my drums just to introduce the song. You understand? Because I'm trying to make the people enjoy the instrumentation and also to get the feel of what the vibe of the drum and the song is going to sound like. Okay, so that's like the second thing that I do. Then another thing is you want to find a lovely unique sound that you want to put. Most times only in the intro that sound comes in, maybe the intro and the outro. It could be ear candies, it could be a very nice guitar, it could be a sax, it could be whatever. But in my own case, I'm using my vocals that I just basically make it to be a radio effect, and it sounds just like this. And if you notice, I brought that in after 4 bars. Most times my intros are mostly 8 bars when I am creating my beats. If you've listened to most of my beats, I always make my intro 8 bars, nothing more than 15 seconds. You know, you don't want to make the whole song be in the intro, but in amapiano is quite different. Maybe I'll do a separate video on that. So yeah, so after I've gotten my unique sound, I also introduce another guitar. Yeah, 2 guitars actually. I introduced them. Yeah. So you can see, like, and I'm also using an SFX sound to bring them in. You understand? They didn't just come suddenly. So yeah, let's listen to what we have so far in the intro. You can see I'm just trying to bring the vibe, then an introduction, and I'm using the bass as well. Yeah, you can see I'm using a different bass it's not that really vibey or groovy. So it depends on the kind of beat that you are doing. But make sure a little tip, your intro bass is different, your verse bass is different, your bridge is different, and your chorus is different. If you can, it just helps to give the whole song a different vibe. And you don't necessarily need to like play a new bass in total. You just have to tweak little things here and there, which I'm going to show you how I did that in this particular song. So now you can see for my intro, remember the first thing I did was to look for my leading sound, which was a guitar for me. Like I said, it could be whatever sound, but just make sure that sound comes in from the beginning and the end. That's like one of the most important sound that is being heard in the whole song. So after you've gotten that, the next thing you want to also do is to decide if you wanted to start with the drums. And you can see I told you in most cases I start mine with the drums without the kick, just the percussion. Then you want to get the unique sound. It could be a guitar, it could be a sax, it could be a violin, it could be a vocal instrumentation. And in my own case, I'm using my vocals here. And I also introduce a little bit of another guitar that comes in the chorus. I brought it back in the intro, like the second 4 bar of the intro. Do you understand? Please, I hope this is making sense to you guys. And after I do that, the next thing I always do, I always start my song with a verse. So it depends on you. If you want, you can start your song with the chorus, you can start your song with the verse, but in my case, I always started with the verse. Okay, so all I do is see my leading sound is still there, then I'm going to add an additional sound into that first 4 bars of my verse. As you can see, I brought in a new sound which sounds just like this. And you can see after doing that, I added in more percussion. So you can see the intro has less percussions, just a few of them. Then the verse, I brought in every percussion in, including the drums. And this is what the verse sounds like. And for this particular song, the verse is just like 8 bars. So many times you bust my head, can you give me ginger? Give me your love, anything where you want, can you know say I get that? Give me your love, AJ. Anyway you work, I know if you concentrate. I go give you things where you want. Say me don't fall for you. So you can see what this is sounding like in the first 16 bar of this whole track. And you can see I just brought in all the drums together. I brought in a guitar and I brought in a new sound. And in most cases, sometimes I can also be adding some ear candies here and there, maybe like some vocal chops, but I didn't do that. And another advice, always make sure every 4 bars, every 8 bars, you are introducing new sound to your song. It makes it really interesting. You know, you want to try to introduce new things so your listeners don't get bored. Okay, so yeah, what I just did was to bring in the intro. Then if you notice to the bridge, I changed the bass. Like the first bass that you are hearing in the verse, that was what I was talking about, you trying to make sure that you play different bass here and there. So the first bass in the verse sounds like this. So that's what makes the whole song unique actually. So yeah, sounds like this. You can see that impact I added in between that first 4 bars, right? So you can see what I did there. Then now the bridge part of the song, you can realize that I changed it a little bit. Same thing I'm playing, I just lengthened the notes, you know, just to give it a little bit of vibe. And you can hear what that sounds like in the bridge right now. No. Anything you want, I give you as you please. Oh my love. If you give me loving, girl, you know I did for you. Another thing I did to make my pre-chorus unique is I auto-filtered that. So this is not like a must thing to use, but you just want to always try to separate your songs by part. Use 1 or 2 things creatively to make the listener know that even without a vocal, when I listen to your beat as an artist, when you send me a beat, when I listen to the whole arrangement, I'm supposed to know, okay, this is the verse, okay, this is the pre-chorus, okay, this is the chorus. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm trying to like create that uniqueness for each part. So you see the verse have his own parts, have his own sound over here. So you can take out sound, bring in sound, and you can see I took out this sound in the verse. I replaced it with another sound up here. So you see, same chords. I played same chords here, but I took this out. I played a new sound using that same chord just to give it a different feel in the pre-chorus. And I also did an auto filter to also give that same feel in the pre-chorus. Then I also played a different bass. So I hope I'm not confusing you. You want to make sure you are creating playing one or two things or removing something, just making sure that each part of the song is unique and have a unique sound to it. And you can also add ear candies as you go. Like I also said, make sure you are changing and introducing new sounds every 4 bars, every 8 bars, depending on how you want it, but make sure you're bringing something new so your listeners don't get bored. So if you realize around this part, I brought in the second guitar here, so, and you know, just to tell you guys that something is about to happen in the chorus. No. Anything you want, I give you as you please. Oh my love. If you give me loving, girl, you know I did for you. I go give you things so you want, girl, you know I did. See me, I don't fall for you. Oh my love. So you want to make your verse and your chorus unique, and in most cases the chorus is where I bring in everything I've played, like some sound that you've not heard here, some sound that you've not heard in the verse, some sound you didn't hear in the chorus. I bring everything in my chorus. I mean, some sound you didn't hear in the pre-chorus, I bring every sound in my chorus. Okay, that's another way that I do my stuff. So you know, the chorus has to be full, because that's like the main part of the song. That's the part you want people to always remember. So I just bring everything in. Angeli, no, baby, give me love, oh, Angeli, no. And if you notice again, I also played a different bass. This time around, I added more note in between the bass that I was playing. Look, if you notice this chorus bass, you can see it's quite full with a lot of, you know, melody here and there. But when you check this one, you can see there are some spaces. I left that on purpose. I played same thing in this verse, in this chorus, but this chorus I just added more into it to like give it more vibe. So you can see what I mean. You can try this also when you're arranging your beats. You want to make your chorus bass different from your verse bass, you know, and your pre-chorus bass can also be different if you can be that creative. You understand? And one other mistake people just do is they just copy all this and paste it to the other side. I actually did that here, but I don't really advise people to do that. You can also come to your verse 2. Instead of, you can use the same chord that you played in the whole song, like for the verse 1 that you played here, you can use it here, but you can change the sound, you understand, and use it instead of using this same sound, just to give that verse 2 a different feel. And the ear candies that you played in your verse 1 and pre-chorus of the first part of the song should be different from what you play in the verse 2 and pre-chorus, just minimal, you understand, just so that the verse 2 can have its own vibe as well, so the listener doesn't feel like they are listening to a repeat of what they've had before. So that's just a tip for you. But yeah, I was a little bit lazy and I didn't really do that here. So you can do it like this. You can just duplicate this whole thing to the next phase and just record. But I always advise when you're starting your verse 2, you can play same thing but change the sound a little bit just to make it sound interesting. But for the bass, you can just leave it there, because the bass is like what helped me to construct the song. In this song, it all depends on the song and depends on what you are going for. You understand? So I think that's it. Just try to tweak your verses, your verse 2 a little bit to give it a unique vibe. You understand? And yeah, for my outro most times, and what I do is after I get my verse, I get my pre-chorus, I get my chorus, then I go into the verse again, I get my pre-chorus, then the second time after the verse 2, I always put my chorus to come in twice. Then after that, I just simply take what I bring in the intro, I put it in the outro, but this time around I am having lesser sounds than before. So you can see. Baby, give me love, then I see bringing that riser. So see, that's just basically what I do. I just bring in the intro and I put it here. And another tip, when you're making your songs, make sure you're looking at the minutes. I don't know, you can take this, you cannot take this, depends on you. But I don't like my song going more than 2 minutes 30 seconds because the listening span of people are getting lower by the day. So I'm always trying to make sure my song is not too long and not too short. 2 minutes, 2 minutes 20 seconds, 20 minutes 10 seconds, 2 minutes 30 seconds, 1 minute 59 seconds. I'm just making sure I'm in that 2 minutes to 2 minutes 30 seconds range. You understand? So let's do a little bit of recap of what I said. So yeah, the first thing you want to do when you're trying to arrange your beats, when you have your 8-bar loop, you have to decide and look for your leading sound. And your leading sound is just basically the sound that you feel is the main sound for that beat. And without that sound, the song doesn't really make sense. So that's what you want to loop all the way from the beginning to the end of the song. Then the second thing you want to do, you want to decide if your song is going to start with the drums or the instrument. In my case, I always start with the main instrument and the percussion without the kick, and some percussions also not in the intro. Then when I go into the verse, I bring in all the drums and my leading sound is still there, and I add in another sound and also adding some ear candies here and there just to make it unique. And if you're asking what ear candies are, like I said, ear candies is just basically vocal chops, maybe guitar riffs, sax riffs, make it wet to the point where it makes sense. Just be creative with it. And next thing, you want to look for a lovely unique sound. That's when you're putting your intro. You want to put in that sound that's unique, that maybe doesn't really come in the whole song, but they only get it in the intro and the outro. You understand? So that's another thing you can do. And also make sure every 4 bars and every 8 bars, you are introducing new sound, new thing into your beat, just to make it interesting for the listener. Then the next thing, you want to add in violin, sax, guitar, something for emotions in between the songs. That's ear candies again, like I said. Then you want to start with your verse and chorus, depending on you. But in most cases, I like starting with verse before I introduce them to the chorus. But there's no rule in that. You are the creative. You know what you want for yourself, so you can do that. Then after that, tweak your verse and your chorus. Don't just loop the whole thing. Change something. If you're going to be changing the bass, if you're going to be changing the percussion, if you're going to be changing the sound or adding new sound, just make sure you are tweaking your verses and your choruses to make them unique. So even when the artist listens to the beat without you telling them this is the verse, this is the chorus, the beat already leads them to what it is. And in most cases, the chorus is where you want to bring in all your sounds. The verses and the pre-chorus, make sure you're giving room for the artist to vibe. Don't push them, don't drive their melody. Let them be the one to drive the beat while you just lead them. You understand? So I think this is basically my thought process when I'm arranging the beat. And yeah, drop a comment and tell me what you think about this song. I really appreciate if you go stream it and watch it on my artist page, HCM Music. And yeah, I just wanted to show you guys a little bit on beat arrangement, and I hope this was helpful. If it was, give me a like, comment your thoughts, tell me what else you want to see, guys. I really want us to grow this year, and that is my plan. And till I catch you guys in the next video, remember to stay positive and always stay away from negative vibes. Peace. So many times you never smile.